You missed the opportunity at the beginning of the episode to say
I
Happy New Year instead of
know.
hello.
Oh my God,
I
that's
know.
true.
You got to re-record it and put it on the
didn't
front.
click in my head right away.
Welcome to another episode of RATz, Random Ass Thoughts with Kate
and Tebow,
where we unprofessionally discuss absolutely nothing of value to anyone.
These are unconvinced opinions of hypothetical topics and events that may or may not have passed through your mind.
And if you finish a whole episode and wonder, what the hell did I just listen to? Then we've done our job.
Welcome to RATz.
Hello.
Hello. And you didn't even lose a step.
I know. Happy holiday.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We're here. It's happening. Happy New Year. No, yes, you're right.
There we
go. Yeah. Happy New Year.
There
2024 is happening and it's here. And
I feel like 2023 felt old to me like 3 months ago. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I almost started saying, like, typically it's the other way around where like I'm still saying the old year
Right.
and the new year. But for the last 3 months, I'm like, we're 2024. No, we're still 2023. I thought we were done with that.
You know, I don't know how to feel about 2024. I don't know how to feel about 2024.
Well, you shouldn't. It hasn't happened yet.
Right, I know, but I feel like, you know, because you want to be like, yeah, we're going to do all this stuff in 2024. And then it's like, but are we? You know? Like, I feel like somewhere up there's people that are like, that's cute of you. That's cute of you, you know? Because who knows what can happen? We could have an actual end of the world type situation. I don't know.
Wow, that just you have a way of ending conversations that is incredible. Like you don't even have to walk away to end a conversation.
Like it's done.
It's like, wow, that ended that. Our first topic is.
Our first topic is, and I'm spinning the wheel, and the wheel is spinning, and the number is number 10. Number 10. Okay, this needs context apparently. I put some notes for myself.
At least you put notes this time. That's good.
Okay.
It's not like dogs. Go.
Yeah, right. So it says meme, customer service employees should be allowed to fight one customer once a month. Okay. And then I said, fight. Okay. Now I get it. It says, fight. The number 10 says, fight customers or fight employees of establishments once a month. And the inspiration comes from this meme that said, customer service employees should be allowed to fight one customer once a month. And I think like we should say fight, like not like physical fight.
But argue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
oh, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that would be, I think giving us the permission to do that once a month to our life, like anybody that we choose up, right? Like me as a person, I could just go into any establishment and say, today is the day that I want to argue with you. And then I just go at it, you know? I feel like that would actually create a nicer society.
Didn't you have a similar idea with like flicking people off or something like that?
I did.
I thought I remember it was like a purge style idea.
It was like I call that the fuck you day. Where you have like a big middle finger, foam finger.
I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you can just say fuck you at everybody. So I feel like there's like this recurring theme of a lot of repressed anger that we need to deal with. You would argue with people, you would say fuck you.
No,
I mean,
so let's just say, like, rather than me going to a store, I feel like customer service employees should get the permission.
I get 100%.
To be able to say, 100%. You know what, Dan? You come in here every day and you give me a hug. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so also, I mean, it could be the French influence because French people don't like in stores and stuff. They don't work for you. They work for the store. Yes. So the mentality is way different. Like they don't give a shit about what you're in there to find what you want. They're in there to work in the store.
Right.
So like it's not, they'll be more honest with you, which on one hand I really like, especially when you're shopping for something, because they'll tell you whether that fits you in their opinion or not. They'll give you their real opinion because they're not like out here looking for, to sell you on something. They'll be like, oh no, those aren't the right shades for you. Maybe try these.
Yes.
But so like with Bad Yogi, with our customer service, like I'm like, okay, yeah, we be kind and all, but if anybody comes at you, like just forward them to me. Don't take that shit.
Yeah.
Because like I don't like the mentality, the overdone mentality of like the customer's always
for
right,
sure,
so they can abuse people. That's just bullshit.
And there's a right way to handle certain things, that are somewhat conflict, where you're telling a customer they're not right, but in a way that's still polite. But I feel like this should literally just be like, you suck, don't ever come back here,
like more direct about
like
your
I've
actual
been wanting
feelings.
to tell you off for like, now my day is here and you are the customer that I choose to tell off, like you just go around, just like whatever is on your heart, you just get to say. You just get to argue.
I feel like even receiving that from a customer service rep, I feel like I would enjoy that more than the passive aggressive stuff. There's this guy who does like the passive aggressive receptionist or whatever impression of them at airlines and stuff like that, and it's just like that is way more infuriating than just come out and tell me what you're feeling, and then we can hash it out. But the fake politeness and shit, that drives me nuts.
No, I have no trouble, like telling people off if they're rude, if they're being rude to me. I've actually had to do it a couple of times as a customer, and not like as in a Karen way, because I give people a chance,
Are you sure? Would a Karen say that too, though? That's the question. Would a Karen say, but not in a Karen way?
Not in a Karen way. Okay, look, listen, maybe in a Karen way. Because I try to be reasonable, like I've had to do it once in Key West. Like we were checking out of a little boutique hotel.
Yeah.
And the guy was so rude. Like he wasn't even like, he didn't even greet us. He was just like, taking the keys. He was refusing to make eye contact. Apparently, like I was part of a group and a couple of people in the group were giving him shit for being rude, I'm assuming, right?
Okay.
So when it was my turn, I'm like, hey, how are you? I was being friendly, and he just like pulled me in with the whole group. And I'm like, are you for real? Like, are you not going to address me like at all, And he just like didn't refuse to look at us, refused to say anything. And I'm like,
and then you pulled out your phone middle finger and you made it official.
I'm like, this is absolutely like unprofessional. This is not how you do customer service, right? Like no wonder you have people here that are pissed at you, because this is how you are. Anyway, so I've had to do that just a few times, and it's nice, because I feel like sometimes justice needs to be served. And and on the other side, because I mean, I've had a lot of customer service jobs, right? Like I've worked in retail, I've worked at banks, I've worked at restaurants. So I feel like I know where people, like I know how to be reasonable in my requests. And when I was working at the bank, people would always love to tell me like, oh, I'm going to take my business elsewhere. I'm a teller, okay? Like, go ahead. And so
I don't make commission off your tiny ass deposits,
and
bro.
This was like at the drive-through when it's like slammed, and people are like, why is it taking so long? And I would tell them like, I'm so sorry for your wait. Like I'm doing the best that I can, like that's my apology. I'm sorry. Please be patient. And then after that, they're like, this is just ridiculous. I'll take my business elsewhere. I'll go across the street to Chase. And I'm like, would you like me to close out your accounts now?
Right. Yes, and exactly. Then they're like, I'll do that for you. Then no, never mind.
Yeah,
never
exactly. What? Like, by all means, go. Bye.
Yeah. Do you understand the amount of deposits that we have here? Do you understand that your $3,000 is not going to make that big of a dent?
I am here to service you. So if you're telling me you want to close your accounts, I am hearing that you are unhappy.
That you want to right.
Exactly.
And you would like to close your accounts. Now,
Yeah.
I mean, we get, not that often, but sometimes we get them with bad yogi too,
Yeah.
which that'll be like, well, then I'll take my business elsewhere, or I won't. I'm like, oh, okay. First of all, let's chill.
Yeah.
It's $9 a month. Okay, so let's chill on the threats here.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
you are not single-handedly paying our mortgage. Like,
Right.
this is we're trying to do something, and because most of the time it's not like, oh, we were being assholes or something like that. No, it's like they weren't happy with a change that we made that made the majority of people happy.
Yeah.
And they felt like it needed to be,
Yes.
solely about them.
Yes.
And that I feel like that's what a lot of these arguments would come from, that you're referring to.
Yes. It's
would
like,
be like,
I'm
okay, have you seen the IKEA guy? The guy on TikTok, he does like customer service jokes and stuff, but he's like at IKEA or whatever, and he's like, it's just a whole series of different videos where he's talking to fictional customers and telling them off, basically.
I don't remember.
That
but
would be
send them
right.
to
That
me.
would be for you. Yeah, that would be
please.
100% for you.
I want to spend my hours on this. No, I think like I'm a very kind human outside of I'm just very kind in general,
outside of what? No, outside of what? What are you gonna say? Now I'm curious.
Outside of these four walls, I'm a very kind human being. I mean, I have a lot of patience. I don't normally need a lot. But when someone is being rude to me, or someone is being rude just as, like, if this is your job and you don't like it, like, by all means, stay home. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it is. Like, if you are 100%. Working front facing with customers, like, you need to be polite. And I get that people suck, but that's one person that came out. Like, you can't drag that attitude to other people.
Absolutely.
Like,
and you can have you can have bad days and stuff. So it's not like you got to be super flowery all the time, but like, the basics of, not making me feel like I'm inconveniencing you by being here is kind of, it's kind of part of the,
like,
if not, then it's called a sick day.
Sorry for asking for this, like,
yeah.
I was in a grocery store once and I walked past this guy that was stalking. And I guess, like, I was standing in his way. I didn't realize that he needed to get where I was. And so when I walked away, he's like, fucking people,
Yeah.
But he said it so loud, and I was like,
That's crazy.
Excuse me? I'm like, are you talking to me? And he was like, and he just grumbled off. But I was like, what?
Yeah, and these people, they're always cowards. Like, they'll never finish it directly to you. It's like, oh, well, okay, come on. If you have to say it to me.
Right.
Say it to me. I'm here. I'm right here. I'm listening.
Right.
No, they'll just like mumble and leave.
Did I tell you about the one time the girl was driving her car like so slow? She was literally going like 10 miles an hour in a 15 mile. Like, you have to go slow anyways, but she was going like 5 to 10 miles an hour, and not for a little bit. Okay, she was going like that for like a good stretch. Like, there were a couple of turns she had to make, and it was like she was driving in the middle of the street, so no one could pass her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is wrong with her? Okay, let me be patient. But the whole time as I'm driving, I'm like, like, you feel it. You start to feel it. You're like, okay, but just a little bit more patience. She's gonna be gone soon. And then finally she wants to like parallel park, and she's taking her sweet time, and she doesn't know how to do this. So I go around her and I slam on my horn, right? And I see that she has a dog on her lap, like a little tiny dog. I'm like, this is the reason why you can't drive. Like, your dog is hindering your ability to drive safely, and now you're putting everyone else in danger. Anyway, so I slam on my horn. I'm like, bleh, which I don't normally do. And I drive and I go into this parking lot that I'm supposed to go in, but I go into this part that I didn't know was closed off. So I had to turn around, and as I'm turning around, I see her following me.
Oh, so you did tell me this. Yes.
She's literally following me. She slams on her horn and she flicks me off, and I roll down my window and I'm like, you want to go? But at this point I'm laughing just because I'm like, this is why I love human beings, that we get into these tips with each other. You know what I mean? And so I'm like psychotically smiling, going like, you want to go? Let's go. And she just drove off. But
yeah, because you got a crazy woman saying you want to go while psychotically smiling. I'm gonna drive off on that shit too. Like,
let's go.
You come at me aggressive, that's one thing, but you're smiling like a psycho while saying let's go. I'm like, I'm a pass. You know what? You're right. That's my fault.
Yeah.
That's my fault right there.
Literally,
you're
I'm
right.
like laughing. I'm like, let's go. Let me put some music on, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm a pass on that too. I'm a 100% pass on that too. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, that's not. Yeah.
Anyway, so I do think we should all get the ability to just tell one person off. You know, I think maybe implement that with Bad Yogi. Just tell your team like, hey, once a month you get to choose, send a fictional email to whoever you need.
I feel like, yeah. I mean, then you have to deal with reputation. It depends on who it is. Like the person has to be completely discredited before you before you go off on
but
them.
you don't ever have to send
fun.
it. Send them to me. Just send them to me. Just send these fake emails to me. These fake responses to real issues, send them to me.
Right.
I would
send them
I
to
would
you,
love...
and you will write. Well, especially behind
back.
an email. Yeah, especially behind an email. That will be especially yeah. Wow.
All right.
All right. Would you rather?
Would you rather? I had one actually. These are
okay. Go ahead.
It's so funny because I asked on our Instagram like if people had would you rathers, and 2 people send me 2 different but the same would you rathers, and it is would you rather celebrate Christmas every month or never again. And then the other one was like watch Christmas movies every day or never again or something. But I like the Christmas every month.
Okay.
Or
Christmas
never
every month.
again. Or never again.
Never again.
What?
Yeah, hands down. Hands down.
Why?
What? How could you say that?
Literally, what? Why?
No, 100% never again. That's a lot of money.
Well, I mean, you don't have to make it about gifts.
Well, I'm just saying. Then we have to redefine, what most people expect during Christmas. Because I'm not about to like give. Then you got birthdays overlapping and stuff.
I guess too. Like, what does how do you define Christmas, right? Like, we don't do a lot of gifts for friends. We don't give any of our friends gifts.
No, I don't do gifts with friends, but we do gifts with family.
Yeah, we have a small family, so
so do we. But gifts every month.
Okay, so you have the option to eliminate gifts, or you could do if you have to do gifts, I feel like you could do. Let's do homemade gifts. No.
I'm still doing.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's do used gifts. Like I feel like you could be so creative with this. You could be like
absolutely
for February. Let's do gifts that involve a heart. I don't know. Let's do loving affirmations.
You really want this? You want Christmas every month? That's what you're saying. That's what you want Christmas every month.
That's my answer.
I don't want like, you know how people get around Christmas, like you can hardly think about work. And that's no.
Yeah, that's true.
That's too distracting for 12 months out of the year.
Yeah.
No.
That's true.
No.
That is true. I feel like that is true. People tend to forget all their responsibilities.
Yeah. Because then like eliminate Christmas, then just make Easter, more of a thing. That's fine. We got others.
I know, but there's something about Christmas though that's just like Christmas, There's a magic in the air. I don't know. I definitely would.
Yeah, that magic is hella distracting.
It really, truly, it absolutely is. But I would go for Christmas every month. So you're saying no Christmas?
Yeah, I would say no Christmas. Yeah, it's not very productive.
I'm like, that would be such a sad world.
You're like, who hurt you?
Literally, like no Christmas at all, ever. Not just you'll get it once every 5 years. Never ever.
Before it was invented, the way that it's celebrated now, people did fine.
But I'm not like, that's it. I don't even need it to be celebrated the way that it is to this extent.
Well, then you're talking redefining, changing it. But either way, it's a holiday every
Honestly,
month.
I feel like the more we have it, the more we're able to like redefine it in a way that's like what actually Christmas is. So I think if we get 12 chances, you know, it can even start like this. Like January Christmas is small. Like all we do in January Christmas is we pray. I don't know if that's what you do, you know?
Yeah.
Then February Christmas is like we exchange loving affirmations to each other. Okay? Then March Christmas feels like what could we go sit by a lake?
Okay,
like it involves
so we have another product for the RATz store, which is a 12-month Christmas calendar.
12-month Christmas cracker. Yes.
And every month is a different version of Christmas, according to Kate.
And it all leads up to December Christmas, which is like the big Christmas, you know?
That incorporates all of it together.
Yeah, I think it would be fun. I think we actually, as much as we'd be like, oh, this sucks, I think it's a nice reminder every month to be like, hey, let's take time with our family. Let's like be intentional about our community. I don't know. I love Christmas. And I used to be a big Grinch. Actually, no. I had all of the what is it called? Everything in my life would set me up to be a Grinch. I could have easily become a Grinch.
Gotcha.
And I fought very hard not to be a Grinch.
Gotcha.
And now
I was for a while. But I do like the outside Christmas decorations, and I do, I go all out on that. But in terms of either way, definitely for me it would be none.
I love it. And you, I mean, yeah, it's nice. It's fun. I feel like if I was a Christmas character, my favorite Christmas movie is Elf, you know? Have you ever seen it?
First of all, I've never seen it. Second of all, I never want to see it. So that's I know.
Why?
I know. I mean, I'm really upsetting you today. I know. I don't care for what I've seen of it. So.
You know, I'm not a big Will Ferrell fan.
Will Ferrell.
Well, you know Will Ferrell?
I know Will Ferrell. He makes music, right? Yeah.
Will Ferrell, sorry. Okay. That's the brown of me coming out.
Okay, is that it? You can't just excuse everything for that, you know.
White people everywhere are like, who's Pharrell?
Who's Pharrell?
Well, actually, it's Pharrell Williams, so it makes sense.
I know it kind of goes backward. Yeah, no, but that's fair.
Williams. Okay. Thank God I didn't say Williams Pharrell. Look, let's. I'm not a big Will Ferrell guy.
Okay.
But I like that movie really is good because it's all about like being excited for Christmas. And I think like people forget if you're stressed out around Christmas, you're not doing it correctly. You just have to hone it back to go full speed, you know?
Yeah. No, I get that.
All right. What's your would you rather?
Okay. Mine is yours was Christmas related. Mine is New Year's related.
Okay.
Would you rather spend the next week tossing confetti over the head of every person you meet, or blowing blowing a horn and wishing them a happy New Year?
Can I do both? I feel like both of them.
You would love doing this.
Both would be fun.
I feel like it shouldn't be for a week. It should be for a month, for the next month, because you need to get outside of the span where people are expecting this. You know, by January 28th, you look like an idiot. You know.
Okay, so one is confetti without saying words. I just throw confetti on them.
Yeah.
Okay, and the other one is blowing what?
A horn and wishing them a happy New Year.
The dilemma for me is in like they're both fun activities. I think they would be great. They would be great together.
I think I just gave you an idea. It's not so much that would you rather.
I feel like I love the idea of confetti. I think that makes it so fun. But also to do that without explanation, there's no climax, right? So
Okay.
I would want to do the horn and being like, Happy New Year.
Okay,
Yeah, I think that would
you
be
want to,
fun.
yeah, I mean, that seems to fit more with you.
Yeah. I need
to say
the
something.
expression.
You need to say something. You need to say something.
I need the expression. It would kill me to just like.
You missed the opportunity at the beginning of the episode to say Happy New Year instead of hello.
Oh my God.
I
That's
know.
true.
You got to re-record it and put it on the front.
It didn't click in my head right away, you know?
So yeah, so yours would be
horn.
Be the horn.
Yep.
Yeah, mine would be confetti. For sure.
I would get paranoid if someone walked up to me and like threw confetti on me and just walked away.
But you're doing it. You're not receiving it.
No, I know, but if you did that, if you were just doing that, walking up to people, and especially like after New Year's has been gone for a whole month, I feel like that would make me feel like you're marked. You've marked me as your victim of some crime.
You watch so much shit. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy because that takes a special mind to think that confetti. I marked you with confetti to come back and murder you.
Yes. Like you're a sick serial killer. You're like the confetti man.
That's crazy.
Like I could literally leave a whole trail.
That's genuinely just
okay. Okay, so why do you choose that?
Because that's what I'm not gonna mark you with like some like black light marker or something. No, confetti, which you can just like rub off and keep going about your day. That's what I'm gonna mark you with.
But every serial killer leaves behind something, right? So if you come to the scene of the crime and
but that's after it's done, though. You're talking.
Yeah, but even before, like they wouldn't know you. So you take them far away from the initial confetti throwing, right?
Okay.
So it's like we find confetti in a parking lot in Florida. And then we find a dead body with some confetti in like Iowa. And they have to figure out.
Somebody needs to cancel your Netflix.
I know.
Just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying. No more crime dramas.
But why would you choose? Okay, why would you choose that one?
It fits my personality better.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You have to say something. I don't have to say anything.
You would literally throw it like.
Yeah.
Like.
I'd throw it and walk away straight faced.
That's what I'm saying. I would be like, whoa. I would be like, what just happened? I'd call the cops right then and there.
Oh wow.
You know? I'm like,
okay, and we're back to the Karen thing.
I'm like, a 6-foot man walked up to me, threw confetti on my face, and then walked out. Didn't say a word, didn't smile. I'm telling you.
And I'm wearing a hoodie too, so
I need police escort, you know? Yeah.
That's funny.
I need state resources for this.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a lot of shows.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Anyways,
okay. That's a lot of shows. Okay.
Current event. So the current event I sent you is speaking of murders. Yes.
Is a man. He is now 71 years old. His name is Glenn Simons.
Okay.
And he was wrongfully convicted of murder.
Mm-hmm.
Of murdering a woman in 1974. So this makes him the person to be the longest incarcerated wrongly.
How old is he now?
71. This is 48 years, 1 month, and 18 days.
Okay.
But the kicker here is that the ruling makes Simmons eligible for up to $175,000 in wrongful conviction compensation from the state. $175. That's insane.
So, like, how old was he when
$175,000, sorry.
Is this based off of, like, does this like include inflation from when he first got in jail to when he's out of jail? Like, how old was he when he went to prison?
I have no well, it was what, how many, what did I say? I said 48 years, right? So he must have been 23 years old.
Oh my God. Yeah,
23 years old. So I feel like I've heard cases where like they were wrongfully incarcerated for 10 years and they got like 2 million, right?
So here's the thing. That's
so
what I'm thinking.
Happened?
I wonder if he can get 175 is like what the state is going to give him, but then he can also sue the police department and the judicial system or whatever that's called, and then he can maybe receive more, right? So it's like that's the stipend that the
So on Wednesday, that the ruling also facilitates the filing of a federal lawsuit that would seek damages against the law enforcement and government entities involved in the client's prosecution through the process.
He can get,
but that could take years. So not only is it just $175,000, and he could, that's possible. That's not like, oh, he just gets it right now, because he just walked out of jail and he hasn't been working his whole life. He just has whatever he might have gotten in the commissary or whatever. And he has $175,000, which who knows when he'll get that. That's insane. So now he has a GoFundMe that is set up by I don't know who, but it might be him. But GoFundMe, and apparently it's at 1.76 million.
What are they assuming? Are they assuming like, hey, this guy already wasted so much of his life. He's 71 years old. How much more life is he going to live? Like, well, he doesn't need a lot of money. He's so used to like...
No, that's not how that works. Because you have the opportunity not to just make money for yourself, but for your family.
No, I know, but I'm saying like, what's their reasoning? Like, oh, he's used to humble living. 175,000 is going to be plenty. You know what I mean?
175,000 at 71 years old is nothing. I mean,
I agree, but I'm saying like, is that their thought process? Is that like an
But
average...
it's not even defended. It's not even defended. Like there's nothing even. So hold on.
I wonder if they look into their systems and they're like, a median male of his age in our zip code makes this much, so that's how much we're giving him. Like, I wonder what their justification is for $175,000.
Yeah, but even 175, let's say 5 years. That's for 5 years. That's $35,000 a year, assuming that also gets taxed.
I know, but you also have to think like a lot of people.
Yeah.
For them, that's might be a lot of money, right? Like
$35,000 a year.
No.
Where
to just get, like, for a lot of people to just get $175,000 is like a large sum, is a lot of money, right?
Yes, 175,000 to get that. Yes, assuming you have some income in addition, fine. But he's also in Oklahoma City.
Also assuming that you didn't get wrongfully accused and like had to live your life rotting in jail. Like,
so you have nothing. You have nothing else. No, but in addition to that,
I need emotional damages.
Well, for real, and more than that, because apparently he's undergoing treatment for cancer that wasn't discovered until after he got out.
Oh my God. You know what?
So
that really does suck. Like, I wonder how many people are.
I mean, well, that's a good Kate coming through with the really, really poignant statements. You know what? That really does suck. Yeah, 50 years of his life stolen from him, and now he has to deal with this. You know what? That really does suck. You're right, Kate. Wow. I mean,
sometimes there's nothing else to say other than like.
It's true. It's true. No. I mean,
that sucks. I mean, I feel like they just obviously they screwed him from all different ways. You know.
Yeah. Because now he has very little skills compared to what he could have accumulated over that time frame. Like, you know, you could have been working at McDonald's for 50 years and be way better off than $175,000.
or not.
I mean, yes, I understand that, but you have to be given a chance.
Right. Like, that's it. That's the
know.
most important. Is like, he didn't get a chance. Like, he didn't get a chance to live a life and see what he could actually make from himself.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
at his fullest potential, what could he have made of himself? You know what I mean? Like, that was robbed from him. So what is his thoughts? Like, what's his words? What is he saying about all this?
So I don't see anything later. Hold on. I don't see anything except for USA Today reported that Simmons reacted to the ruling on Tuesday by saying, "This is the day we've been waiting for a long time. We can say
it sucks."
We can say justice was done today finally, and I'm happy. So
Okay.
I mean, good for him. I think he's happy now. Like in the moment now that he's out of jail, but when you have to deal with the fact that you have no money now. Fortunately, the GoFundMe should cover him for way more than that. I mean, 1.7 million. That's
and then he still has his suit. But do you think that his GoFundMe would like meddle with his lawsuit in some way? You think they'll be like, well, now he has all this money, so why does he need to win this suit?
It shouldn't. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't, because that's not the point. But I mean, it could. Yeah.
I wonder too. Like, it's so fun. Okay, so this is also kind of funny, right? Like, he's happy because I'm sure when he was in jail, he's like, I would do anything to get out of jail. Like, give me nothing but freedom, right? Yeah. So now he has freedom, and he even said, he's like, I'm happy. And then I'm sure, like, as soon as he's walking off, like, the court building or something, people are going to whisper in his ears, like, oh, you shouldn't be happy. Like, 175,000, that's crazy. Which, rightfully so, it's true, right? But then, like, slowly...
Let him have his moment.
Slowly, he's going to be like, wait a second, this is not right. And he's going to, like, file his lawsuit and all that stuff. So I just think it's funny how, like you said, he's happy off the bat. But then once reality settles in and he's like, wait a second, you know? Does he have kids? Does he have kids?
Yeah, I didn't see anything about kids. Yeah, I didn't see anything about kids. I mean, he was young.
And that's the thing too, like, most of his family that he knows has probably passed away too, you know? Like, his mom, his parents, if he had older siblings, like, they're probably passed away. All his friends that he knew, like, there's probably only a couple that are alive.
Well, you're also making this a lot sadder now too. So that's congratulations. You're right. This does suck. You're like, no, but it's worse. Like, it's worse.
It's
well,
like,
that's true.
He just comes out like completely lonely. Like, what? Who's helping him enter into the real world? Like, where is his best friend? You know? Yeah.
Wow.
It wasn't my intention. Okay, I'm just like, I'm thinking. I'm like, wait, 71? Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. No, that absolutely does. No, it absolutely does. I mean, yeah, it absolutely sucks. So,
and he doesn't have kids.
Not that, I mean, it doesn't, I don't know, but he was 23 when he went in. So there's a possibility that that's not the case. So yeah, no,
well,
that's
crazy.
Mean,
I feel like the internet has kind of like adopted him. Whoever
contributed
to his GoFundMe is like, we'll take care of you, you know? Like, I'm sure now he'll meet so many people that want to come like and sit with him and, you know?
Yeah. No, and
doesn't have to be a sad story.
Kate, are you looking up the address now? Are you?
No.
You're like, want to come and sit with him and just talk and be like, are you sad? This really sucks.
Yeah.
But also, you remember your friends? They're all gone too.
Yeah, like not one of your friends is alive still. Like you didn't get to go to your parents' funeral, like, you know? What?
Helpful. Super helpful.
All your like childhood belongings are gone, you know?
Yeah.
No one came to visit you in prison. Yeah. I mean, I would, if he lived closely, I would, but you know, I don't know where he lives. I'm not gonna go to Where was it?
Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but that, I mean, you know.
Yeah. I think I had a question of the week and I forgot it. But when I listen to the episode, it'll come back. I think the question of the week was... Oh. No. I forgot. Maybe we should ask the question you asked me. How much do you think someone would be entitled to when they've been falsely imprisoned for
Like
you know?
what's the right amount to be?
Right. That, or what is your reaction if someone just threw confetti on you without saying anything? What would your reaction be?
Yeah, because those are a lot better than just, what's your New Year's resolution?
That could also be a good one. What's your New Year's resolution? Speaking of New Year's resolutions, what's your New Year's resolution?
I don't know. I don't really have a New Year's resolution.
Do you do resolutions? Do you do intentions? Do you do goals? What's your
Yeah, Erin typically does, and I'll do them with her.
Okay.
I have some some for the business side of things. So I'll feel like, okay, like this year I really want to focus on this in the business, or I want to shift this over, make streamline things, whatever it is. So those kind of things that are more like kind of on the practical side. But I don't know. I feel like honestly, like I've had so many and I haven't hit a lot of them because like instead of I've changed from making them like goals of things that I want to achieve to more things that I want to do,
Okay.
like that, like the routines I want to have.
Okay.
Because those are more within the control, within the scope of control. Because the other ones, they end up getting disappointing when you don't hit them.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
so I'm like, no, I just wanted like, okay, this is my goal. I want to focus my attention on this. I want to be able to put a lot of time into XYZ, whatever it is. And as long as I can do that, then let the outcome be what it is.
Yeah.
So I think that's the focus on more than anything. So yeah, but they're not like fun New Year's resolutions, I think.
Yeah, I don't think any New Year's resolutions are actually fun. Like
really?
if you go
I
off
thought
of,
you'd love that.
No. If you go off of like the way that normal resolutions are, right? Like people say like, I'm gonna get healthy, I'm gonna get fit. Like
right.
If it was fun, you would have done it already. You know what I mean?
Right.
But we just like,
okay, like that.
We just pretend it's fun so that we get inspired to do it. But it's not. I don't think anyone's resolutions, the way that they set them, like I want to do XYZ, is actually like fun. I don't.
So like
one
of mine is I want to work on like in a structured way. Work on my basketball game in a structured way.
Okay.
So as opposed to just going out each time and doing whatever, I want to actually have a plan that I follow and I do the drills and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's fun for me.
That's fun. Yeah. But I was more so talking about like in general, like a lot of these things that we're putting in place are not necessarily fun. It's just things that we know we wouldn't have to do,
Yeah. I like what people what I heard somebody say about like you people tend to overestimate how much they can get done in a year and underestimate how much they can get done in 10. And that's or even 5. So I think that's something too, is just like not just looking at the year and pushing it out a bit more.
Yeah.
And being like, okay, this year I can focus on this, but then the bigger picture is 10 years down the road.
I don't necessarily do I don't
I'm
do
surprised.
like resolutions. I go with like, what's my intention for the year, right? I go with the feeling of the year, like the vibe of the year.
The vibe of the year. And that's what you're saying, you don't get a vibe yet?
I don't know. It's hard to vibe it. I feel like I have PTSD from COVID, right? Because I feel like, oh my gosh, okay, are we safe? Like as Taylor Swift would say, are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods yet? Are we, are we out of the woods, or is there another wave coming of like something crazy that's gonna like derail everybody else? It's like, I feel like we've gotten comfortable at like, okay, yeah, we're back to normal. We're good to go. We can make and I just there's a part of me that's kind of like, are we? Or is something else going? So I don't know. I can't feel it yet, but if I'm gonna do anything this year, I was like, I kind of want to be a little bit more. I want to simplify my life. I feel like last year I really was just like chaos all over the place, and I want to be a little bit more simplistic in just like everything. I set a goal. Well, here's a goal that I actually did set myself.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not shopping or buying anything for myself for the next 6 months until my birthday. So like, I'm not buying clothes, I'm not buying shoes, and I'm not a big shopper, but I feel like sometimes I'm not a big shopper. but you know,
Okay.
like people buy things all the time that sometimes
Yeah.
you don't need. So that's something that I want to do. Like no buying anything unnecessary that's not needed. So I want to learn to just like either recycle or reuse or borrow things that other people might have or things that I haven't used in a long time.
Okay.
So that's kind of like my actual thing. But I think that falls in line with like being more like simplifying my life a little more.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
So that's what I want to do. Just like be a little more simple, be a little bit more like in tune, like, you know, to be here, be a little here, you know?
Yeah.
Oops. Yeah. That's
be
my
here. Stay here with us, Kate.
Yeah, be here. You know, like the static.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Be here. Oh, yeah. No, no, I get that. That's good. For to what end?
To what end? To simplify to what end?
Yeah. Is it just to remove some of the chaos?
To what end? To what end? I mean, until I am at peace in my room and no one is bothering me. No.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. To what end? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. And it doesn't mean like I'm not gonna do things. I feel like I overextend myself a lot in the way that I agree to do a lot of things that I like, you know, don't necessarily should be agreeing to. Right. So like I'll be like, yeah, I'll run errands for you, or yeah, I'll do that, you know, and then it's like, oh shit, okay, well I just wasted my whole day on doing all these things for everybody else and nothing for, you know, not like that I need to do anything for myself, but it's just like I could have just stayed home and like do other things. Yeah, you know?
I mean that's something. Yeah.
So I think just like doing that, I feel like my extroverted self, every time I feel like I run into someone that I really like or I think I can vibe with, I'm like, oh, let's meet for coffee. Oh, let's meet for tea, you know? And I feel like, okay, that takes a lot of time and effort out of my day because now I have like 5 coffee meetings with people that I don't necessarily really even like know. You know, all in the name of like trying to get to know someone. But I'm 35, man. Like I don't need to be pursuing friendships like that anymore. Like,
but that's a skill. I mean, I think because I mean, you know, that's not something that I enjoy at all.
Right.
But I see it as a skill. Like I see it as an attribute that you can connect with people and you can be energized by that. That would exhaust me. Like I don't want to meet people for
right
for
coffee. And it does energize me until I realize like, oh shit,
how much time it was taking.
I just spent
you know, I've got a funny one like that, and honestly it's going to sound funny because typically it's the opposite, but for me it's the amount of time I spend with Till. So I spend a lot of time with Till and I love it and I enjoy it. But sometimes I do it to so much that I realize like I'm not doing anything, like you said, for myself. And I'm just, you know, on the days, because Aaron and I switch off days so that we can work.
Yeah.
And on the days where I don't have him, I also want to hang out with him. And because honestly, it's even more fun because then I don't have the responsibility and I can just play.
Yeah.
And but you know, I find myself like doing too much of that, and I'm not focusing, and that's where the basketball thing comes in. We're like, no, instead, like go out and do the drills. Like I want to do those drills, but then I also want to spend the time with. And one of the tough things is like it's a privilege because it's something that I've always wanted to be able to not have to think about being able to spend time with Till whenever I wanted to.
Right.
Like I love that privilege, but that also means that now I'm responsible for cutting it off and turning it on.
Yes.
And that's something that kind of caught me off guard in a sense, because I was just like, you know, all I had before, like even as a kid, was thinking, okay, when I have a kid, like I want to be able to spend all the time that I want with them. Okay, great. Now I can.
Yes.
Oh, and now like, I also need to be able to cut it off and like determine when to do other things. So I think being more disciplined with that, where it's like, okay, when it's not my time to hang out with him, like I can do it sometimes, but like I need to be able to focus on the stuff that I need to focus on.
No, that's exactly true. And I mean, I feel similar. And I mean, maybe that's kind of like how I feel too. I feel like, okay, you know how you always say like, oh, it would be nice to not have to like, you don't have the responsibility of going to like a 9 to 5. You don't have the responsibility of like working like hardcore. And so I feel like like ever since we've had Ela, that's kind of like what my life's been. But it's like, okay, now I need to actually have it be structured time. It can't just be like
Yes.
free. Oh, you got all the time in the world. Like, okay, now I can do everything. Like, you know what I mean? And so I feel like that's where
honestly,
the
you end
chaos
up doing
comes in.
nothing.
Literally.
Because there's too many things that compete for the same time.
Yes.
And then it becomes overwhelming, and then you don't pick any of them. And it's like, so I think that's a big one for me in terms of next year, is just being more disciplined, that like those 5 things that I want to do, drop 4 of them.
Yeah.
Like just drop 4 of them, because I'm going to end up dropping 5 of them trying to juggle all 5.
Yeah. Yep. No, that's
so
true.
Drop 4. Even if they're ones that like on paper sound like everything that I would want to do, in certain quantities they end up becoming a detriment to my life overall.
Because that's literally what I mean with like simplifying. It's like maybe creating a little bit more structure so that it can feel simple and not chaotic. Because it's true. It's like all of a sudden you're like, wow, okay, I did so much, but nothing at the same time. Like nothing 100%. Got actually done, but I spent all my time doing all the things that I wanted to do. But
and my brain like is consumed by stuff too. So like I need to help myself kind of detach from certain things. Like I was up last night, partially because Taylor kept getting up, but also because I was like running through work stuff. And it's also because it's so not segmented that it never has a shut off. So it's consuming. So even if I'm like, I am so exhausted, I can't do anything today, I'm still thinking about it. So it doesn't feel like a full rest day.
Yeah.
I'm like still in mine.
I mean, that's what Matu and I talk about all the time too. Is like this idea of, when you work from home or when you have flexible schedule, it's actually harder because there is no separation from anything. Like we can't just leave work and be like, okay, well, we're home.
It's done. Yeah.
It's like, no, it keeps going. And then your kids, because they see you have flexible time, they don't know like, oh, mom or dad is working. They're like, come play with me,
Yeah.
So it's like,
I think it's a huge privilege, but it just doesn't, it doesn't flow naturally by itself.
No.
You need to structure it.
And then when you work from home and you see like, oh, the garage isn't working. Like, let me quickly fix that.
Right,
That's like all of a sudden you're like, what? What did I do?
Yeah, no. I was thinking about it the other day because I was just like, oh man, our vents really really need to be cleaned. And I'm like, I'm gonna spend like 2 hours going through the entire house and scrubbing the vents. And I'm like, oh god, no, I gotta focus on what I'm doing. Like, it's just these stupid things that you kind of have to.
A lot of things that you think don't take time actually do. So I've been like starting to time like how long it actually takes me to like pick up the house, and it's like, I thought that was literally a 10-minute situation. No, that takes like an hour and a half, 2 hours max, I'm like, that's a lot of friggin' time that I just spent.
Oh, that's another one of mine too, is so like I'm, cause of how I grew up.
Yeah.
I tend to be pretty cheap with things. So I do not like calling anybody to do anything.
Okay.
For, I will investigate the shit out of it first.
Yeah.
Both to try to resolve it, or at least to know enough to be able to go straight to the root of the problem and not spend as much money.
Right.
But the other day I was like, there was something with the AC and I was just like, you know what? No, I'm going to call him right away.
Yes.
I'm not going to waste the time because I'm going to spend 2 days trying to investigate, trying to see what I can do. Maybe I can troubleshoot this and that and that and that and that to save $150, which is a lot, but
then it's done.
It takes up my entire 2 days. And I'm like, no, forget that. No, let's just call somebody out right away. Let's get it taken care of and move on. And I'm trying to do that quicker.
Yeah.
And where it's just like, in business too, the same thing. Like it took me a long time to outsource things. It took me a long time to get, have other people do things. Cause I was just like, if I can do them.
Yeah.
And it sounds bad, but it's really not. I can do a lot of different things.
Yes.
And that's kind of an issue because like I had a friend of mine who runs a business, and whenever he couldn't do something, he was just like, he had to get somebody to do it.
Yeah. Because he had no choice. But if he can do
he had no choice. Right. And so in his mind, he's like, I can't do it. And I'm like, well, I can learn it.
Yeah. I can figure it out. I can spend 2 weeks kind of.
Exactly. And then I go learn it. And I'm like, in the meantime, he's moved on to something else. and done what he does best.
Yes.
And I'm over here not doing what I do best because I'm learning a skill that I don't particularly need for myself, you know, in that time. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm
so
at.
True. Like we're similar. Like anytime we can do anything ourselves in the house, we'll do it, you know? And I sometimes have to remind them too, like, hey, why don't we get an actual friggin' plumber? You know?
Yes. Yeah.
And like,
because sometimes it's satisfying. Like I built my gym out there. Great. That's an individual product that's satisfying. But there are other little ones that I'm like, okay, somebody could do this and I could pay them. They could get work and I could do something else because they're going to do it in like a fraction of the time than I would because they know what the hell they're doing and I don't.
Yeah, it's like we're finally getting like upgrading our kitchen, you know?
Yeah.
But like being the way that we are, we're getting IKEA kitchen, you know, like it's like we're gonna do it ourselves. Fine. But I'm like, okay, IKEA kitchens don't come assembled. Okay. Like they come in flat boxes that you have to create 2D into 3D, and that's up to you. And I told him, like, you know, also what we could do is we could just hire someone to come and put them together, because then once it's together, the hanging is easy.
You can get a TaskRabbit to do that too.
Yeah, I'm like, literally, I mean, that alone, like putting together the cabinets from scratch is gonna take at least like 5 to 10 hours. You know what I mean? So it's like if we just paid 2 people for that for 5 hours, I think it's worth it.
Not even 5 hours,
right? Rather than us having to sit there and be like frustrated. Now we're arguing because, you know what I mean? We're stressed. The kids are crying because they're not getting our attention. Like, let's just do that. You know, like we can do everything else ourselves. Like, I think that we can outsource. It's fine. We're okay. You know?
Yeah. No, I know. So that's something too that for me, I'm like, okay, be just faster with it. Stop. Because I will research the shit out of it, something all in hopes to save like $20.
Yeah, similar.
And it ends up costing me how much in time. And it's like, okay, I definitely can make $20 in 3 hours. Yeah. So let me try to do something that makes me $20 versus trying to save $20 in 3 hours. Because that's the thing though, when you come from that mentality, it's almost like you'd rather spend 3 hours saving $20 than making $20 an hour for 3 hours.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you're like, it's that saving over making mentality. So it's like shifting that.
And it's also like starting to look at your time as like not something that's free, right?
Right.
Like
of course. Yeah, absolutely.
There's a dollar amount to your time that, okay, if it's going to take me, like you said, if it's going to literally take me an hour and like my hour is worth X amount, then I might as well just pay someone less than that to
100%
to do it for me and to do it right, you know?
Yeah. And it's for me, it was like valuing my downtime at the same rate as my uptime. So, okay, fine. Yeah. This is my rate per hour, but I'm not doing anything right now. So, and it's like, well, yeah, but that's your downtime that allows you to make that rate per hour. So like, that's valued at the same time. So anyway, all that became very, very serious for a RATz podcast.
We are simplifying our time.
In 24. Yeah. There you go. There you go.
The end. So,
happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And
hold on.
What?
Happy New Year! And then you need to do confetti drop. There you go.
I just flick confetti. I just flick confetti. There you go. That's what I do. All righty.
See ya.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
That's it for this podcast episode.
Thank you so much for listening to our random ass thoughts.
To keep the conversation going, join us on social.
And if you have a friend that needs a chill pill or a laugh,
send them this podcast too. See you next week.